Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So for today's look we did light buzz ear and green eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this video down into two parts. So the first video is going to be the eyes, and then the second video is going to be how I did this light buzz ear. Is that his light buzz ear? I think that's his name. Buzz Lightyear. What am I doing? But yeah, so we're going to break this down into two parts. So eyes first and then the face paint. So I hope you enjoy. So boys and girls, we are now going on to do the eyebrows. I still am so embarrassed I said light buzz ear. Like I'm cringing watching this back. But anyway, we are using the Plouise eyebrow pencil in the shade Espresso. And I'm just drawing a little bit above the brow on top on the arch and a little bit underneath the brow on the bottom. And that gives it that straight line of a brow. So now we are going to go in and we are going to cut that brow so it's so crisp and clean, and I'm using the Plouise base in the shade 0.5 and a black concealer brush to do this, and that's what's going to give it that kind of that real crisp look. And because I'm lazy, I use a flat brush because it does all the work for you. Like look, I'm just placing the brush down and it is doing that for you, so there's a little tip. And then with any of the excess product, I'm just putting that over the whole eye and then just blending it out with a big fluffy concealer brush. So I'm going to be using the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival 3 palette with Stacey Marie, and I'm going to be using the shade Black Beach. I'm just going to place down that black shade first, and now I'm going to go in with the shade Forest, which is a really dark green, and I'm just going to blend out the edge of that black. So from the same palette, I'm now going in with the shade Key Lime, and I'm just going to blend out the edge of those colours. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going to go back in with the shades that I used at the start. So you're going to go back in with Black Beach, then you're going to go back in with Forest, and then your Key Lime. So what that does is it just makes your colours that you've put down before really vibrant, so that you're not going to miss kind of those blending shades or anything like that. So now I'm going in with Peaches and Cream Fantasy Pigment, and I'm just placing that over the front of the eye. So now I'm going to be using the Loreal More Than Concealer in the shade 320 Porcelain, and this is one of my favourite concealers. It is so full coverage, but the trick to this, girls, is you've got to let it sit on the skin for 2 minutes before you even blend it out or touch it. So now I'm going to go in and put down my contour, which is the Penny's PS Pro Longwear Mineralised Foundation in the shade 0.2 Warm Beige. I put that down where I normally would contour, and then I'm just going to go in and just blend that out. So now that I've let that concealer sit for 2 minutes, girls, wait, and you see this. So all I do is really lightly go in and blend it, and I mean the full coverage it gives. Girls, this leave it on the skin for 2 minutes so works. It gives you that full coverage look, and how it works is that it sticks to the skin. So it's not going to be opaque, it's not going to be water or anything like that. It's actually going to be that thick consistency that you want in order to give you that flawless coverage. So now I'm going to go in with the Ingla HD Perfect Cover-Up Foundation in the shade 79. So all I'm doing is I'm putting it anywhere that needs a little bit more coverage, or anywhere, what way did I say that or there? Or anywhere that needs to be blended between the contour and the cream or liquid concealer. So what I did is I wanted to add a little bit more brightness to the face, so like under the eyes, as you can see on the tip of the nose, the chin, the forehead. So all I did to do this was I used the Jeffree Star concealer in the shade C1. This is an okay concealer. The reason why I use it is just for the shade. It's really light and bright, but I wouldn't really use it for coverage. So now I'm going to go in with the RCMA translucent powder, and I'm just going to mattify the face. So we gotta add a little bit more colour back on to the face. So we're going to use the Doll Beauty Gimme Sun Medium Deep Contour Powder, just to add a little bit of like that fresh sun-kissed skin, and just to make me look skinny, because I need to have chiseled cheekbones. So now we gotta highlight the skin. So I'm gonna go in with the Doll Beauty it's like their highlighter palette, but I just mix all the shades together. But girls, look at that highlighter, it's stunning. So now any of the eyeshadows that I put on top, I'm just going to put underneath the eye and just blend it out just so that it all comes together. So off camera, all I did was add the Plouise Base'ic base in the shade Hint of Mint just to the waterline, and I just added a pop of lashes in a minute, you'll see. And for the lip liner, I used the Plouise lip liner in the shade Standards, and all I'm doing is blending out with my finger, and then I'm just adding a Lancome gloss in the shade 200 just on top, which is a clear, just sparkly gloss. And then now you're basically done. So if you want to see how I finished this look, well, how I started this look, I guess, and see how I did Buzz Lightyear, head over to my channel and you will see part 2 of how I did the face paint. Enjoy!